हेलो फ्रेंड्स, आज की वीडियो में हम प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स कर रहे हैं रेजिडेंशियल स्टेटस के लिए। रेजिडेंशियल स्टेटस हमने देखा कि टैक्स इज लेविड ऑन रेजिडेंशियल स्टेटस। इन एवरी असेसीज केस देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ रेजिडेंशियल स्टेटस, रेजिडेंट एंड नॉन रेजिडेंट। बट इन केस ऑफ इंडिविजुअल एंड HUF, हिंदू अनडिवाइडेड फैमिली, resident is of two types: resident and ordinarily resident, resident but not ordinarily resident. In case of individual, in order to become resident, there are two basic conditions. An individual has to satisfy any one of the two conditions. Either he should be in India for a period of 182 days during previous year, and in our case the previous year is 1920, or he should be in India for a period of 60 days during previous year and 365 days during 4 preceding previous years. This condition has to be fulfilled collectively. That is 60 days previous year and 365 days during 4 preceding previous year. So if an individual satisfies any one of the two basic conditions, he becomes resident. This has two exceptions. That if an Indian citizen is leaving India for employment purpose, in that case only one condition is seen, that is 182 days. If an Indian citizen or person of Indian origin visits India, in that case also we see 182 days. Person of Indian origin means the grandparents or parents born in undivided India. The person becomes person of Indian origin. Resident is of two types: resident and ordinarily resident, but not ordinarily resident. In order to become ordinarily resident, the individual should be for a period of 730 out of 7 preceding previous years, and he should be resident for a period of 2 previous years out of 10 preceding previous years. Now we move on to if the individual, before moving to the practical problems, if an individual does not satisfy any of the two condition or both the condition, he becomes resident but not ordinarily resident. And if the individual does not satisfy the basic condition, one of the two basic condition, he becomes non-resident. Now we move on to the practical problem of residential status in case of individual. In case of individual, we have incidence of tax. This computation of tax system does incidence of tax. And before computing incidence of tax on the income of the individual, we have to know there are two types of income: the Indian income and the foreign income. So we start with Indian income, the income which is received in India, accrue in India, arise in India, or deemed to receive, accrue, arise, etc. in India is called Indian income. And if the income is arising, becoming accruing outside India, is called foreign income. In case of resident and ordinarily resident, both Indian income as well as foreign income is taxable in India. Whereas in case of resident but not ordinarily resident and non-resident, in these two cases only Indian income is taxable in India. Foreign income is not taxable in India. Then we have one very important concept to understand. That is deemed to accrue. Deemed to accrue in India. This arises because of number one, business connections. So if any non-resident or a person living outside India has business connections in India through his own commission agent or broker or any agent appointed by him to run his business on behalf of that principal person. But the agent is in India, but the income is received outside India. But the income is received outside India. If these two conditions are satisfied, this is treated as deemed to accrue in India, and this income is taxable in but not ordinarily and non-resident case. Because in case of ordinarily resident, each and every income is taxable except gift received from relatives, gift received from friends up to rupees 50,000. If we receive gifts from friends in a previous year that exceeds rupees 50,000, then the entire amount of gift is taxable in the hands of assessee. Not the excess over 50,000 is taxable. But in case of marriage, in case of occasion of marriage, if the assessee receives gift from friends, that is total exempted. But if the assessee receives gift on the occasions of birthdays, anniversaries, then that is not exempted. That is, it is exempted up to the limit of rupees 50,000. And if the assessee receives in excess of rupees 50,000, the entire amount is taxable. Secondly, agricultural income in India is totally exempted. Third, dividend declared by domestic companies, that is Indian company. Indian company is always resident in India. In case of foreign company, we have two circumstances. If the turnover is less than 50 crore, it is non-resident. And if the turnover is more than 50 crore, in that case we see place of effective management. If the place of effective management is in India, it becomes resident. And if the place of effective management is outside India, it becomes non-resident. So, we see the fourth, that is past foreign untaxed income brought to India. So, in case of resident and ordinarily resident, but not ordinarily resident and non-resident, four incomes are totally exempted. Gifts from relatives, gifts from friends up to rupees 50,000, agricultural income in India, dividend from Indian company, domestic company, is this resident. And then finally past foreign untaxed income brought to India during previous year. So in case of resident and ordinarily resident, only these four income are exempted. Otherwise, each and every penny of rupee is taxable in India. In case of but not ordinarily resident and non-resident, Indian income is taxable. And in case of Indian income, the income received in India, arise in India, accrue in India, deemed to accrue in India. So deemed to accrue in India, may we have the concept of business connection. So if the person living outside India, non-resident or whosoever may be, if that person is running a business in India through his representative, through commission agent or broker or any agent, in that case, the income is treated as deemed to accrue if that income is generating outside India. So in order to become the income is deemed to accrue in India in case of but not ordinarily resident and non-resident, the two conditions should be satisfied simultaneously. First, there should be business connection. The business should be on a continuous basis. The agent, the broker, the representative should be of the person who is living abroad and is working for himself or herself. He should not have his own independent business. And secondly, the income should accrue outside India. The income is received outside India. In that case, it is deemed to accrue in India and it is taxable in case of but not ordinarily resident and non-resident. Then second we have in category of deemed to accrue in India. We have that is interest, the technical fee, interest, the technical fee, and royalty. Technical fee is given by companies as well as government to get certain work from others, technicians, and royalty is given to take certain benefits, to take certain privileges. So when this interest or technical fee or royalty is given by Indian central government, it is treated as deemed to accrue in India and it is taxable in case of but not ordinarily resident and non-resident. Then if this interest, technical fee or royalty is paid by resident in India, it has two repercussions. That if the resident pays this amount and the user of this amount uses this thing, borrowed money, outside India, first for business or profession or any activity relating to earning money, that is not taxable in case of but not ordinarily resident and non-resident. ROR तो हो ही गया हमारा, taxable ही सब कुछ है. But if the interest is given by interest is earned by resident from the money that is used by the person outside India for running any business or profession or any activity that is incurring profit, it is not taxable. But if that person uses money for any other purpose, it is taxable in India, but not ordinarily resident and non-resident. Now we move on to interest, technical fee, royalty in case of non-resident in India. So if the non-resident enjoys certain interest, technical fee, royalty, etc. on account of lending money, and the person who has borrowed the money uses this money in India for two purposes, either to run business or profession in India or any activity to earn money in India, that is taxable in case of but not ordinarily resident and non-resident. But if he uses money for any other purpose, that is not taxable in India in case of but not ordinarily resident and non-resident. So now we move on to different situations. Income accrued in US but received in India. So received in India, इनकम रिसीव हुई है इंडिया में, अब ये एक्रू कहीं पर भी हुई थी, वी आर नॉट एट ऑल बॉदर्ड, क्योंकि हमारा सेक्शन 9 कह रहा है रिसीव्ड इन इंडिया और ये इंडियन इनकम बन गई. सो इट विल बी टैक्सेबल इन ऑल द 3 केसेस, ROR बट नॉट ऑर्डिनरली रेजिडेंट एंड नॉन रेजिडेंट. वी मेक ए टेबल ऑफ दिस थिंग. ROR resident but not ordinarily resident and non-resident. Income accrued in US but received in India. So because of this receiving, this income is taxable in all the 3 cases. Then we have income earned in Africa. कोई अफ्रीका में इनकम अर्न की गई थी, वन इनकम दैट वॉज अर्नड इन अफ्रीका, बस दे के छोड़ दिया, कुछ नहीं आगे. तो इसका मतलब क्लियर है, अर्नड इन अफ्रीका एंड डिपॉजिटेड देयर. तो इसका मतलब दिस इनकम विल बी टैक्सेबल हेयर ओनली एंड दिस विल नॉट बी टैक्सेबल इन बोथ दीज 2 केसेस. इनकम अर्नड इन अफ्रीका, so that will be taxable only in first case बट नॉट इन अदर 2 केसेस, क्योंकि ये अफ्रीका में ही अर्न किया और कुछ नहीं दिया। एक और केस देखते हैं, इनकम अर्नड इन जापान बट रेमिटेड टू इंडिया। रेमिटेंसेस आर नेवर टैक्सेबल। इनकम अर्न की थी जापान में और वहीं पर कुछ और नहीं दिया या रिसीव्ड देयर, सो इट इज टैक्सेबल ओनली इन फर्स्ट केस बट नॉट इन बोथ दी 2 केसेस। एंड लेटर ऑन रेमिटेड टू इंडिया, रेमिटेंसेस आर नेवर टैक्सेबल, क्योंकि पैसा एक ही बार टैक्सेबल होता है, 2 बार किसी इनकम पर टैक्स नहीं लगाया जाता है। और अगर किसी इनकम पर डबल टैक्स लगाया जाता है, दैट मनी इज रिफंडेड टू द असेसी। सो इनकम अर्नड इन जापान, रिसीव्ड देयर या कुछ नहीं दे रखा, इट विल बी टैक्सेबल ओनली इन फर्स्ट केस बट नॉट इन अदर 2 केसेस। और लेटर ऑन हम उसके साथ एक और भी कुछ लिख सकते हैं, रेमिटेड टू इंडिया, रेमिटेंसेस आर नेवर टैक्सेबल। उसके बाद अर्नड इन इंडिया बट रिसीव्ड इन कैनेडा। सो अर्नड इन इंडिया, रिसीव अब चाहे कहीं भी किया हो, दिस इज इंडियन इनकम। अर्नड इन इंडिया, रिसीव्ड इन कैनेडा, तीनों ही केसेस में इट इज टैक्सेबल बिकॉज इट इज अर्नड इन इंडिया, it has accrued in India, it has arisen in India. After that we have earned and received in Sri Lanka from a business controlled from India. Income from business or profession that is controlled from India, but income received outside India. It should be taxable in these 2 cases, resident and ordinarily resident but not ordinarily resident. That income received from business or profession controlled from India but income received outside India. लेकिन इसमें अब मैं एक मॉडिफिकेशन करती हूं, income received from business controlled from India, income received outside India but partly income is received in India. तो जो वो पार्टली वाला पोर्शन है दैट विल बी टैक्सेबल इन नॉन रेजिडेंट। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द इनकम इज ऑफ 1 lakh, सो दिस 1 lakh इज टैक्सेबल इन बोथ द 2 केसेस, बट आई हैव रिसीव्ड 50,000 और 50% इन इंडिया, सो 50,000 विल बी टैक्सेबल इन केस ऑफ नॉन रेजिडेंट। हाउस प्रॉपर्टी इनकम फ्रॉम श्रीलंका, कुछ भी और नहीं दे रखा, बस सिर्फ दे के छोड़ दिया। सो कोई हाउस प्रॉपर्टी इनकम थी श्रीलंका में, वहीं पर हुई, अर्न हुई, वहीं पर दी हुई, वहीं पर जमा करा दिया, इट विल ओनली बी टैक्सेबल इन फर्स्ट केस, दैट इज ROR, और इन दोनों में निल रहेगा। पास्ट फॉरेन अनटैक्स्ड इनकम ब्रॉट टू इंडिया, तीनों ही केसेस में निल हो जाएगा। एग्रीकल्चरल इनकम इन इंडिया, तीनों ही केसेस में निल हो जाएगा। गिफ्ट फ्रॉम रिलेटिव्स, तीनों ही केसेस में निल हो जाएगा। गिफ्ट फ्रॉम फ्रेंड टोटलिंग टू ₹60,000, तीनों ही केसेस में टैक्सेबल हो जाएगा, क्योंकि मैं इंडिया में हूं, मुझे फ्रेंड ने गिफ्ट दिया है, इट विल बी टैक्सेबल इन इंडिया। देन वी हैव पास्ट फॉरेन अनटैक्स्ड इनकम ब्रॉट टू इंडिया, तीनों ही केसेस में एग्जेम्प्ट हो जाएगा। इंटरेस्ट गिवन बाय यूके कंपनी रिसीव्ड इन इंडिया, कोई यूके कंपनी ने इंटरेस्ट दिया है, रिसीव्ड इन इंडिया में हुआ है, तो यूके कंपनी जब इंटरेस्ट देगी बॉन्ड्स, डिबेंचर्स, FD के ऊपर, वो सबसे पहले लंदन में ड्यू होगा, लेकिन क्योंकि मैंने उसको इंडिया में रिसीव किया है, दिस विल बी टैक्सेबल इन ऑल द 3 केसेस। इंटरेस्ट गिवन बाय इंडियन कंपनी, इंटरेस्ट इंडियन कंपनी ने दिया है, तो ऑब्वियसली इंटरेस्ट तो इंडियन कंपनी ने दिया है, तो आना ही आना है, वो तो हमारा हक है। इसी तरीके से डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर्ड बाय इंडियन कंपनी, डोमेस्टिक कंपनीज ऑलवेज रेजिडेंट, तीनों ही में एग्जेम्प्ट है। वो बात की बात देखेंगे, 10 लाख तक एग्जेम्प्ट है, 10 लाख के ऊपर फ्लैट 10% का टैक्स है, वो अदर सोर्सेज में करेंगे जब हम अदर सोर्सेज पे आएंगे। उसके बाद इनकम फ्रॉम एग्रीकल्चर इन पाकिस्तान, आगे कुछ नहीं दे रखा, पाकिस्तान में कोई एग्रीकल्चरल इनकम थी, युगांडा में, अफ्रीका में, जापान में, सिंगापुर में, मलेशिया में कोई प्रॉपर्टी इनकम थी, एग्रीकल्चरल इनकम थी, वो कुछ नहीं दे रखा आगे, या आगे एक लाइन रिसीव्ड देयर और क्लियर हो गया। So this will be taxable only in first case but not in both the two cases. उसके आगे एक और लाइन दी जा सके, remitted to India, remittances are never taxable. Salary received in America for services rendered in India, तीनों केसेस में टैक्सेबल है. पेंशन रिसीव्ड इन अमेरिका फॉर द सर्विसेज रेंडर्ड इन इंडिया, तीनों केसेस में टैक्सेबल है. उसके बाद इनकम फ्रॉम बिजनेस और प्रोफेशन कंट्रोल्ड आउटसाइड इंडिया एंड इनकम रिसीव्ड आउटसाइड इंडिया ओनली इन फर्स्ट केस. लेकिन अगर इनकम फ्रॉम बिजनेस और प्रोफेशन कंट्रोल्ड फ्रॉम इंडिया एंड इनकम रिसीव्ड इन इंडिया, तीनों केसेस में टैक्सेबल है. तो इसका मतलब अब हमने देख लिया कि द टैक्स इज लेविड ऑन रेजिडेंशियल स्टेटस. रेजिडेंशियल स्टेटस एक पर्टिकुलर प्रीवियस ईयर में एक ही रहेगा. ऐसा नहीं है सैलरी के लिए अलग है, बिजनेस प्रोफेशन के लिए अलग है, कैलकुलेट करते रहो डे बैठ के. नो, नॉट एट ऑल. हाँ, अगले साल हम बदल सकते हैं, बट इट विल बी फिक्स फॉर ऑल दी हेड्स फॉर ए पर्टिकुलर प्रीवियस ईयर. Indian income is taxable in all the categories, but foreign income is taxable in case of but not ordinarily resident and non-resident. In case of but not ordinarily resident and non-resident deemed to accrue first business connection. So if the assessee has business connection in India and the income is received outside India, this will be taxable in both the two cases, but not ordinarily resident or non-resident. In case of interest, royalty and technical fee, if it is received by resident and the money that is used by non-resident outside India for business or profession, that will be exempted in two cases, but not ordinarily resident and non-resident. But if it is used for other purposes, it will be taxable in both these two cases. Similarly, if we have the case of non-resident, so if the non-resident is receiving income on account of its money being utilized by the person in India for business or profession, it will be taxable in both the two cases. But if it is used for another purposes, any other purposes, it will not be taxable. So I hope that all the concepts are clear to you. Thank you so much.